Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. This time, as you can see and as I can see, we're talking about Vogue CU525, this bike. And so far this is one of the most desirable small displacement cruisers that you can buy here in China. People love those bikes a lot. So it has only one huge nemesis here in China, and the name of that nemesis is CF Moto CLC450. But guys, this bike is more powerful. So it has 494cc parallel twin engine. Over there you can see it. And yeah, this engine, guys, has 54 horsepower and 50 newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM, as far as I can recall. So this bike is way more powerful compared to CLC450. And yeah, the style, of course, is very different. I feel like this bike looks really cool. I'm not a big fan of those bags, but other than that, I think that this is a very good looking bike. And one of the most coolest part, if you ask me, guys, is the color, because I really love this black mate. Looks really good, very reminiscent of NK800, which I love. The seat height of this machine is 710 millimeters, so it will be approachable for everybody. Tank capacity is 15 liters. I read your comment, guys, so I know that most of you would like to see 16, 17, 18 liter tank capacity, but yeah, we have 15 liter tank capacity, which is pretty good, but not the best capacity for long distance riding. Over here we have a front fork, and unfortunately I cannot tell you whether this is KYB or not, so I have no idea about the brand, but one thing I can tell you right away is that it's non-adjustable, so we have to ride the way it is. And from behind we have dual shock. It isn't adjustable as well, but yeah, looks pretty good. And one more thing, guys, I want to talk about is that because it's a cruiser, it doesn't have chain drive. It has, let's check it out. Yeah, it has a belt drive. So yeah, very reminiscent of CLC450. So over here we have 320 millimeter single disc from the front. This is 4-piston J-drum caliper. From behind we have, let me check it out for you. I don't really know, but I think that this is 240 or 260 millimeter single disc. Again, J-drum caliper. I'm not sure whether this is 1-piston or 2-piston caliper. The carb weight of this machine is 172 kilograms, as far as I recall, and this is tubular steel frame. I don't think that this is aluminum frame, no way. So this is probably just tubular steel frame, but still looks pretty nice. Let me swing my leg over. All right, like that. Yeah, guys, so right now I'm sitting on this machine and I can tell you that I feel pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty low. The dash is round. It's a TFT dash. So one thing I can tell you right away is that it's pretty bright. So today the weather is pretty sunny, but still I can read everything. Yeah, we have speed, traction control, ABS, fuel gauge, and so on. Doesn't look too bad. I like it so far. But yeah, let's start the bike. Let's listen to the engine, shall we? Alright, guys. Ooh. Actually, the sound of this bike is pretty nice. Let me rev it up, guys. Oh, whoa. Have you heard that pop? Alright, guys, so far the sound is really nice. One thing to tell you guys, of course, it has dual channel ABS and traction control system, as I just mentioned, and you can turn traction control off. So there's a trigger over here, and yeah, you can do whatever you like. Alright, guys, I've been talking about this bike for some time. Let's just start riding. Ready? First gear, let's go. Alright, here we go. It's been a while. I'm not a big fan of cruisers, to be honest, but I'll tell you one thing. These new small displacement cruisers, they're really pleasant to ride. I was very surprised after I rode CU525 because that bike was super maneuverable, very easy to ride, and that bike was pretty light. The carb weight of this machine, as far as I remember, is 171 or 172 kilograms. So this bike is light, and right now, guys, I'm turning, and as I'm turning, I'm keep on smiling because this bike is so maneuverable. The radius of turning is really small. Ooh, look at that, guys. That's really nice. All right, very pleasant feeling, to be honest. Let's check brakes. Ooh, brakes are nice, really nice. And we need to keep in mind that today the weather isn't as cold as last time I rode, but it's still like around 5 degrees Celsius, so the tires might be cold. And still, brakes perform really well. One more time, braking performance, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh yeah, good. And the very last moment, ABS has interfered with my braking, but still not too bad. Alright guys, so we need to find the way to get on the street. I feel like I can ride for a few minutes there and then we'll go back. I really want to talk about the power of this bike because this is the biggest advantage over CU525. So this bike is more powerful, it has more horsepower and it has more torque. Taking that the carb weight of this bike is almost the same, I feel like the performance of this machine has to be way better compared to CU525. Oh yeah, I was trying to upshift without my clutch lever, just got used to quick shifter. This bike has no quick shifter. Yeah guys, listen, this bike is pretty fast. Like, the acceleration is pretty nice, pretty decent. Alright, let's turn. Yeah, and even though it's cruiser, I feel like even though this bike is featuring front foot packs, they're not too far away. So I feel pretty up straight, to be honest. It's a very comfortable place to be. Again, I told you, right, that I haven't ridden cruisers for some time, but somehow I feel at home. I don't feel as if I have to get used to this cruiser. Ergonomic wise, this machine is really good, great. I feel it will be very approachable for beginners. Let me change some gears. Third gear, no problem. Fourth gear, yeah, it starts rattling a bit. So once we're going 40 kilometers per hour in fourth gear, you feel as if the engine is suffocating a little bit. So yeah, let's just downshift the way I did. Yeah guys, so once you use that the lever, the gearbox feels really good and smooth, really good. And I feel a bit bad, guys, because this is the first time I ride Vogue, and this is a very common and ubiquitous brand now in China. People love it so far. And again, this CU525 is one of the best cruisers that you can come across in terms of this type of displacement. People prefer this bike over CU525, as I just mentioned, and recently I rode Benda 500, and guys, it's not even close. This bike is like 60, if not 70 kilograms lighter than Benda, and like this is just totally different bike. It's so maneuverable compared to Benda. It's so fast and rapid, so easy going, so easy to ride. Like, I feel as if I can do whatever I want on this machine, guys. Such a pleasure. Let me tell you one thing, guys. So this bike here in China costs only 3,700 RMB. The new bike. This is the price of a new bike. Overall, it's like something like 4,000 K, which is like so cheap for this bike. All right. That was good, guys. This is the fast bike. This is the fast bike. Like, it's faster than I expected it to be. I didn't think that this would be a very fast bike because, like, it's a cruiser. But actually, I was wrong. All right, guys, you know what? I feel like this is a nice straight line. And you know what we're going to do, right? We're going to measure acceleration. Ready? All right. Oh. Yeah, guys, this is not a slow bike. This is not a slow bike. And taking that, the wheelbase is pretty long. This bike can be launched pretty fast from 0 to 60. Okay, let me do it one more time. Ready? Okay, let me rev it up a bit. Oh, neutral? Okay. Oh, yeah. Alright, guys, this is the fast bike for sure. So, again, 50 Newton meters, 50 Newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM feels pretty good. I would not lie, guys. I know that you're probably waiting for me to talk about this bike in comparison to CLC450, and I would tell you that by now I think that this bike is faster. It feels faster. Maneuverability wise, this is a very maneuverable bike, just as CLC450 is. I kept on sliding into neutral. Yeah. Again, this is my fault, so I don't want to blame the bike for it. But one thing I'll tell you right away, guys, this bike is really fast for its displacement, really fast. And it does feel torquey and snatchy. I mean, I didn't expect it to be that good. And this bike is pure pleasure to ride. It's so maneuverable, it's not even fun. And check those mirrors, guys. So this bike has these mirrors like from the factory. This is just crazy. Yeah, and brakes are so good. Like, they're not too sharp, but they ain't supposed to be too sharp on a bike like this. But it's just more than enough. By the way, I didn't mention, this bike has J1 brakes. Brake performance has to be good because, you know, I'm a big fan of J1. As far as I remember, the front brake is 320 millimeters, and the rear one's supposed to be 240 millimeters. I might be wrong. If you know more about it, please tell me now. Yeah, but brake performance is decent, really good. Nothing to complain about. And guys, let me tell you one more time about handling. Handling on this machine is just superb. It's so nice. Like, I really want to go back. I'll ask my girlfriend to record me from the side, and I just want to show you guys how maneuverable it is. I feel like that radius of turning has to be really small. Yeah, I can make those circles like nothing. If you would tell me to do the same thing on Benda 500, I would just say no way. But somehow this bike is so good, so maneuverable. I can do many things on it. Yeah, and guys, again, I did not get used to this bike. This is my first time ever riding this machine. That's a very fun bike to ride. Again, as you might heard in my previous videos, I'm not a big fan of round dashes, especially when we're talking about TFT dashes. So I just don't think that a round TFT dash looks good on a classic bike. But this is not the most classic cruiser. For example, I think that design-wise, CLC450 would be way more classic. CLC450 is like a bobber. Meanwhile, this bike looks like a kind of modern classic cruiser. Design-wise, actually, I think that this bike looks better for me. But yeah, I know a bunch of guys who would like rather have a classic bobber design like CLC450, so this is just a matter of your own preference. But so far, guys, this bike feels awesome, like really nice. Excellent bike, excellent machine. As already mentioned, it has traction control, dual channel ABS. ABS is not very intrusive, so once you grab brakes, of course, ABS is engaging, but other than that, I feel like ABS is quite nice, not obvious, not intrusive, and so on. So far, so good, guys. And a very cool part is that, did you see the Resident K800 crashed? Oh, that was bad, guys. Alright, so what I'm trying to say is that this bike is very nice, and it's really cool that you can turn traction control off, you can do burnouts and wheelies. There's the video where a girl is riding this bike in a crazy way. She's doing wheelies, she's doing like crazy burnouts and so on. So this might be a stunt bike. I'm joking, guys, but actually this bike is capable of doing things like that. So this is pretty remarkable for a cruiser. Let me trying to find neutral. Okay, now we see nothing. Probably we're on the first gear. Yeah, we're in the first gear. Yeah, I need to. Okay. Yeah, the only problem, guys, is that the clutch starts engaging too early, so I cannot kind of hold to the handlebars the way I used to. So this is probably the biggest problem. But other than that, yeah, this is just a crazy good bike, guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what do we have? Clutch lever, front brake lever. They're not adjustable. So yeah, probably this will be a problem. But still, I feel like if you want, you can find a way to make the clutch engage a bit later. Yeah, guys, so let's check the dash one more time. So as we can see, here's the button. So we press the button and we can change time, odometer, trip 1, trip 2. Okay, so not much. And as already mentioned, there is a trigger here, so you can turn off traction control system, which is a cool thing. Alright, so it has 6-speed gearbox, no quick shifter. Just now, as you could see, I was launching the bike a couple of times, and every single time pretty much, except for the first one, I was sliding to neutral. But yeah, I feel like a day of riding this bike would fix this problem. Just need to get used to that. Yeah, guys, listen, to be honest, I know that this is a hard thing for me to say, but as far as I can tell, this bike is no worse than CU525, and this is just pretty much a matter of your preference. So if you like this design, probably you don't even think twice, you'll just go for it and buy this bike. If you like classic Bobro style, you'll go with CU525. But again, guys, if you're looking for a faster bike, I feel like there is no way around. This bike would be way better, way faster. Acceleration wise, this bike is really fun. It's pretty snatchy, faster than CU525 if you ask me. And yeah, I feel like this bike just looks so different from CLC. The biggest difference, guys, is this really wide fuel tank. I still remember, so CLC450 has a very narrow, nice looking fuel tank, but this one is pretty massive. So yeah, and yeah, this bike comes with bags if you want. Yeah, guys, so this was my humble opinion of this machine. I am very curious what you would say about it. Please hit me up in the comment section below. If you didn't subscribe to my channel, please support the channel and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, new videos are coming. The weather is getting cold, but I feel like we can still grind through. Yeah, I see you next videos, guys. Take care. Bye, everybody.